I'll be one of the stars of this video. So, if you don't like me, you shouldn't be watching this.
I'm a PI, penguin investigator. So many penguins in the world, sometimes there isn't enough room for them. And they just break out. Icebreakers. And that's when I come in. I gotta track them down and arrest them for being bad penguins. Problem is, they don't have any PIs in Australia. That's why they got those crazy penguins that live on the beaches. Yeah. You know, the penguin is the only bird found in the Antarctic. It's pretty cool. Well, I heard that there's this case here about a penguin. One body found, dead hope. Penguins. Penguins around. Oh, hi. Excuse me, sir. There's been a report of a penguin around here.
Penguin? I haven't seen any penguins!
You heard anything about penguins in this area recently?
Penguins?
Yes.
I don't smell any penguins.
Well, sir, there's been a body found.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yes. Do you know anything about that?
No!
You know what a penguin can do to a man?
No, I'm not quite sure the penguin can do it, man, but I know I can do it.
I tell you, penguin is quick. You can't see him sneak up on you. Comes up, gets behind you. You can't even hear him. And he comes in, one fatal blow, you're dead. Nothing a man can do.
How good do you take with your coffee?
I don't drink coffee, actually.
Oh, tea.
Right.
Cocoa.
Penguins are addicted to swinging objects.
That's pretty creepy.
I know.
Penguin! I'm taking you out. Heavily unbalanced. Somebody help me! And you know what? You're not such a bad guy. And you? Who are you?
I'm Karina.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Good bio player. Hey. Yeah, the pen could fly over. Let me play a pen could fly back in the wall.
I'm Rob, and this is my house, and I'm filming the Gnome Project. Now, as you may well know, that gnomes do exist, and that we're under constant threat. My theory, Siberian gnomes are imported in some strange manner. Some evidence, and Andy will explain some of the evidence.
We're moving to a place where I found a small carved, seems almost like a snow bunker. In here was a small tunnel with 2 escape entrances, and this whole area is almost hollow. Coincidence? Maybe not. And I also found what I think is a gnome hole underneath this strange fallen down log. Under here, I stuck a stick through in one day and it just kept going through. So now we're going to investigate it even more thoroughly.
Most gnomes live up to 400 years. We have a picture of a male woodland gnome and a female.
Hold on, let me focus. Yeah, okay.
The male woodland gnome wears a big red pointed hat, while the female gnome wears camouflage clothes. Now the gnome's house. The gnome starts building his house 15 to 20 years before his marriage. First, he looks around for a spot in a garden or in the woods where lichen or beard moss grows, such as the tree. This indicates clean air, for otherwise these moss species would die, exhaust fumes, etc. Using the divining rod, he makes certain that there are no earth rays in the area. Under the first stairway, we find a polecat trap, a folding trap door. The gnomes and their visitors who come in and out are too light to set the trap in action, but the ferret, polecat, weasel, or rat, greedily entering the hole, immediately tumbles below through the trapdoor. After thorough punishment, they are set free. Next, he looks for 2 oak trees not too far apart. If need be, he will use 2 beech trees. Under the roots of one tree on the south side, he makes a staircase, then digs a hidden entrance. From here, he tunnels, with the help of a rabbit, see further on, a crooked horizontal passageway under the trunk. This descends steeply after a short distance. Then he tunnels horizontally to the second tree and rises to where the rabbit has prepared a hollow for the house itself under the tree trunk, dug in such a fashion as not to damage the second tree in any way. The main direction of the house will be north-south. Where the passage rises, he builds an ascending stairway with a banister. A gong and hammer are hung nearby. A welcome mat is placed at the bottom of the stairs. Picture of what the house looks like. And as you can see, the polecat is falling into the polecat trap, where the trap door is.
Okay, and this is the hall, as Andy may have explained more thoroughly, which goes in quite deep, except it looks abandoned to me. And, as Andy said, a moss-covered thingamajiggy. And
As said before, these are Siberian gnomes, so they do not have the same house-making ways as the natural woodland gnomes of this area.
And Andy's other theory would be that they bred with trolls, which Andy will soon explain in his book.
And now I will be showing you the types of gnomes. There are woodland gnomes, dune gnomes, garden gnomes, house gnomes, farm gnomes, and Siberian gnomes. The woodland gnome or forest gnome is probably the most common, but this is difficult to verify as he is not fond of showing himself to man and has many escape routes. His physical appearance resembles that of the ordinary gnome. So this is the Siberian gnome, the gnome which we believe has been somehow imported from the northern countries. The Siberian gnome has been the most affected by crossbreeding. He is centimeters larger than the European type and associates freely with trolls. In certain regions, there is not a single gnome to be trusted. The Siberian gnome takes revenge for even the slightest offense by killing cattle, causing bad harvests, droughts, abnormally cold weather, and so forth. The less said about him, the better. This is a troll. They are found in Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia, and Siberia. They are stupid, primitive, distrustful, and unbelievably ugly creatures. They have noses like cucumbers and a tail. They are horribly strong and fast, and they stink. They often keep boxes full of stolen money and jewels, with which they play for hours, running their fingers through them. They are over 1 meter tall, and their hair is black and filthy. My theory is that these woodland gnomes have bred with trolls from the northern areas, been imported down to here. And when they were bred with trolls, they were made much larger and evil. That is why they do not like us.
And tell him about the kitchen thing, engraved in the kitchen. Well,
across the road from my house, 27 Cemetery Road, there is another gnome hole, which is quite larger than this one. And embedded in my kitchen floor are the initials -T. Unfortunately, my last name is Tracy. Minus Tracy is not very good.
what about plus what about the other ones?
Well,
there
if you
a
add one dash to that, it equals +T. And I have another friend who believes in trolls named Robert Turner. Now, when they have a plus before their initial, that means that one gnome cannot hurt them. So with this species of gnomes, I think that it could probably do the job.
Okay, me and Andy are going to investigate this wood for any signs of gnomes. Besides gnomes and trolls, there are also other things. One thing called the snot gurgle, which is much like a troll, and just as evil. And there are also elves, which are very mistaken for
Pixies,
yeah.
the fairies.
They're more like pixies or fairies. And that elves are not the Santa thingy that you normally would think of. Those are goblins, believe it or not. Goblins. Right. Okay. Just aim the camera in there. Zoom in. Doesn't seem to be much evidence here. Oh, yeah!
Oh my god! What the heck?
Besides that, we have more evidence down there. Now, if you just, in there, you think that's natural?
We seem to have found another gnome hole.
Yeah. Or bunker. According to my research, they may already know. And as you might not know, the gnome's called Barry and Bobby. Other friends of ours. Whom have also been under the gnome spell. Bobby is Robert Turner, just to inform you. And Barry is Barrett Zimmerman. The other one haunted by these gnomes is Kevin Netto. And Barry is claiming to see a lawn gnome strapped to a car seat. And in phone call to Barry, the gnomes just laugh and laugh. And the second one for Bobby, the gnomes laugh, laugh. We're coming for you, Bobby. We're coming for you. Laugh, laugh, laugh. We're coming for you, Bobby. We're coming for you, Bobby. Laugh, laugh. We're coming for you, Bobby. So it's obvious that our evidence is very real. Like another one. No, just kidding. No, that doesn't matter. Anyway, I am leading an expedition to a large field with about grass that high, near a water source. Grass that high. Near a water source, which may be a gnome nesting ground. And I'm leading an expedition to there. And also, another expedition will be led at night. Around the same area, but not as far out.
As recently as we've come in, this guy accidentally tripped on a rope, which was used as a toy for our cat Heinlein. Now, who put the rope there?
You filming me?
Oh yeah, by the way, what's your opinion on the gnome? Or do you not have one?
I don't know if I have my
That's alright. This I found at school. This I also found at school. And then one day, when I first studied the gnomes, I figured out that this made a lowercase g, that the gnomes may be after me. Which is gross, my last name. Or does this G mean something else? Like gnome? Whatever it means. I put it in a transparent box. Put it on the top bunk of my bed. When I came back up, it disappeared. A few days later, I went outside and found it. Coincidence? Maybe not. Not gnomes. Actually, it wasn't goblins, it was dwarves. That was my mistake. Sorry. Yeah. See, over here, this is what people think Santa owns. But do you really think Santa owns a naked lady with wings? No. He owns dwarves. See the little thing? Yeah, with the red cap? Yeah, that's a dwarf. That's what Santa owns. He is an almost extinct creature of the male sex. He is 1 meter and 20 centimeters, often smaller. He can still be found in the middle of inhospitable forests and in the mountains. They dig for gold and silver in extensive mines and live in groups. They are masters of metalwork. They are good-natured except for a solitary few, possibly exiles, who are capable of performing ugly deeds. If a dwarf should fall into human hands, he buys his freedom with gold. They do not have beards. And this is a goblin, what we said Santa had before. So that was a mistake. Goblins grow up to 30 centimeters in length. Dark little men dressed in black with small pointed caps. They are admittedly malevolent and make no bones about it. When a man dies, they scare his family with their presence, just be hateful. They are keen on silver and gold and try to wheedle it away from gnomes. They often carry a small shovel with them. Habitat only in large stretches of forest whence they undertake their raids. See this shovel? Yeah. Bulgers are creatures who live underground, to be found only in Lapland. They resemble gnomes but are somewhat larger and colorless. They live together in large families or tribes, have authority over big wild animals such as bear, elk, wolf, and reindeer. who obey them completely. They are quite friendly, but blind as bats in the daylight. If they are mistreated by man, disasters may occur. Their ugliest method to spread a poisonous powder over reindeer moss, causing that animal to die in large numbers and robbing the lap herders of their livelihood.
It's going to be gnomes and their relations to other creatures. In this picture, it's a troll.
The gnome doesn't have much to do with elves, goblins, house ghosts, dwarfs, river, water, mountain nymphs, ogres, sorcerers, witches or werewolves, fire ghosts or fairies. He simply avoids them. Gnomes have great difficulty with trolls, however, especially in northern Europe, Russia, and Siberia. These disturbers of the peace, meddlesome and aggressive as they are, cause endless harm to man and animals with whom the gnome has good relations toward and who he feels a responsibility. Fortunately, beyond his cave, the troll has no power over the gnome. Besides, the gnome is much more clever. Still, if a troll happens to catch a gnome, the most gruesome things can happen.
Such as...
A favorite troll pastime is to hold the captured gnome against a revolving grindstone. As you can see, that hurts very much. Or to hold the gnome so close to a flame that he catches fire. He is then thrown from troll to troll. The trick is to put out the flame with their sweaty hands before burning themselves. Alas, we also know of a gnome who lost his life. The snot gurgle put him in a mangle. These horrible creatures have also been known to take satanic pleasure when they discover a gnome dog, and lying at the entrance and blowing their foul, scorching breath through the whole house until the gnome, furniture, irreplaceable portraits, and other cherished possessions have been destroyed. The gnomes, of course, flee through the escape route, but they have to begin their lives all over again elsewhere. At present, the only snot gurgles to be found are far beyond the Urals, and every gnome with 1,000 kilometers radius is wise enough to keep the area a wide berth.
So our plan is to...
Sorry.
Lost my page. Oh, thank you. Okay, so our plan is to extinguish Siberian gnomes in whatever ways possible. We'll use sticks, golf clubs, baseball bats.
Ahem.
I said sticks.
Exactly.
And, anything that we could use to extinguish the gnomes. Oh, look it's a garden gnome. Oh, look at him, huh? Hey, Jessica will like garden gnomes. Read about the garden gnomes, Andy.
The garden gnome belongs to the general type. He lives in old gardens, even those hemmed in between the new houses of modern model cities. His nature is on the somber side, and he rather enjoys telling melancholy tales. If he begins to feel too closed in, he simply goes to the woods. But as he is quite learned, he sometimes feels out of place there.
I didn't do it. Yep. Found a real gnome hole. I can't believe it. It's an actual gnome hole. And this is no kid stuff.
And there's a path leading from the gnome hole across the hill.
How do you know that?
Look behind you.
Oh. Yeah. There is? Oh,
Look
yeah.
behind you. It goes all the way across.
See the path?
No, no, down there.
Oh, yeah, see
we're
the path?
sitting on the path, and it
Yeah,
goes
we're
across
sitting on
the
the path.
hill. Can't even see the bottom of the hole. It just goes down and curves,
Okay, so
and it keeps on going.
here goes the camera. We might never see with our naked eye.
Maybe we can't.
Now we're gonna see what we found. Well, this time it'll be a little better. I hope. Gnome path, yeah. And we haven't found anything else so far. We're looking for another hole, which we may or may not find. We're a water source, so the chances of that being a gnome hole is pretty high. I'm crossing the water.
I don't know. And the hole is on a steep hill.
And further ahead a hole. Coincidence? You know what I mean. But it might have been much bigger, which it was. The end, for now. Nay! Run! 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 No! Hey, run! Ah! It's after us! It's after us! Ah! 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 Okay, Andy, you can stop now.
Ta-ta for now.